Hey guys, Isabel here, and this is the first of many videos to come for my new YouTube channel. I hope you subscribe and stay tuned for a lot of cool stuff to come. Okay, so for this first video I promised you guys some information about me, just to let you get to know me a little bit better, and so here goes. Number one, I am a North Carolina girl born and raised. I love North Carolina, I love my trees. Most of my family lives there, so I try and get back as often as I can to spend time with them, and it's just like a little slice of heaven for me, you know? It's home. It always will be, and I love it. Number two, I am also a fine art photographer. I just completed my Master of Fine Arts in Photography from the Academy of Art University just this May, and it was a huge accomplishment that I'm super proud of myself for, and I'm really excited for what's to come. Number three, I have been living in New York City for the past 2.5 years, and it's been one of the craziest life transitions that I've ever had. I moved here with the hope of building a solo career as a salsa dancer and also pursuing my dreams as a fine art photographer. Number four, I started dance really late in life. I started at age 19 as a freshman in college. I started dancing salsa, and up until that point I was a total tomboy, played sports my whole life. In fact, I thought I was going to play sports in college, but I ended up deciding to go a different direction and try something new. And that's when I found dance, and honestly, since the moment I started dancing salsa, I just have not stopped. Started dancing with a company back in North Carolina, Cobo Brothers Dance Company, look them up. And it's just been, you know, a crazy roller coaster since then. I went to college and now I'm a professional dancer. So you never know where life is going to take you, but dance has been one of the most important things in my life, and I didn't even see it coming. Number five, I have got some serious stage fright. So when I was a kid, I used to play the piano, and I don't think that I did even one recital. At the time, I was practicing every day, but when the time came to perform, I said no. And here I am, a professional dancer, performing for strangers all the time, and I'm here to tell you that it is not easy, but it can be done and it can be overcome, because now I love it. Now I love performing, so stick with it. Alright, so now we've gotten to the point where I'm going to answer some of your questions. From Holly Middleton, thank you for your question. She said, what was your process of defining your own personal style as a salsera? How did you make it your own? Where did you draw inspiration? And how did you know you were on the right track? So, first of all, I would say figure out what kind of salsa music you like. We all have different genres of music that we enjoy to listen to, and it's no different in salsa music. But then, more importantly, I would say that your style in dance really draws from your style as a human being. Dance is a form of self-expression, so if you let yourself go when you're dancing, that's gonna come through in your movement, and you just have to keep practicing that. I love to take dance classes in a bunch of different styles, and I draw a lot of inspiration from that. Different forms of music, different forms of dance, and from there you start developing your own quality of movement that can't be taken away from you, and it's yours. I think that you know you're on the right track when it feels good. Dance has to be real, it has to come from the heart, it has to come from your soul, and when it does, it feels good. If it doesn't, if you're forcing it, if you're trying to be someone that you're not, if you're trying to be anyone else other than yourself, it's gonna feel wrong. And it's gonna feel like a forced style. But when you really dance from your heart, you're gonna feel that it's right, and you're gonna feel that it's you, and that's when you know that your style is coming through. Okay, so the next question comes from Facebook, from Nemaris Perez Carro. She says, what has been your biggest challenge as a dancer? My biggest challenge as a dancer has really been myself. So we tend to kind of get in our own heads and get in our own way whenever we're doing something that's really important to us, and that mostly has to do with insecurities. We all have them, and we all let them get the best of us. So for me, that's definitely been probably my biggest challenge, is getting over myself and getting over my own insecurities and going through with it anyway. Whether or not I believe in myself, I get myself there. I think my insecurity on how late I started dancing has gotten in the way of me exploring other dance styles as intensely as I would like to. And I've definitely used that as an excuse in the past as for not being as far along as I'd want to be. But I think once you can kind of get through the insecurities and learn how to deal with them, because they'll always be there, but as long as you can learn how to deal with them, you can get through it, and you'll really surprise yourself with how far you can go. So the last question I'm going to read is from Facebook as well, from Carlene, and she writes, along your journey, did you ever feel like any of this was out of your reach, and if so, how did you rationalize continuing the pursuit of it and not going another direction? I absolutely love this question. It kind of relates to the one I just answered, but of course. Of course, I've doubted myself almost every step of the way. I think it's normal. It's part of being human. When things become difficult, they become scary. And when it's scary, it feels impossible. So it's completely natural to feel like things are out of your reach, and I have felt that way on countless occasions. But I think what always brought me back was just the love of dance and music. But if you can really just separate yourself from your ego and from that place that creates those insecurities where you're constantly comparing yourself to other people, to other dancers, and why aren't you doing this as quickly as someone else, or why haven't you gotten this far? If you can really separate yourself from that, then you can move past it and you can really just work through it. For me, getting back into the studio, even when you don't want to be there, getting back to training, even when it feels like you've lost the inspiration and you've lost the drive, going, training, dancing, even when I feel like I don't want to, even when I feel like it's wrong and just so out of reach and just the wrong goal, an impossible goal, I go to the studio and I dance, I train, I work out, I stretch, I push myself, I do something that I know will make me better whether or not I feel that it's really working. I know that putting in that time is going to make a difference. And you know, whether it takes 1 rehearsal, 2 rehearsal, or 10 minutes sometimes to get myself back to that place of, oh yeah, I love this and it's worth it. It always brings me home. Getting my feet on that hardwood floor, putting on my dance shoes, sweating it out a little bit, it always brings me back, no matter what. And regardless of where I am as a dancer, in my career, as an artist, when I remember how much I love it, then I remember how much it's worth it, and it doesn't matter how out of reach my goal may seem, it's still my goal, and I'm going to keep working for it. Alright, so that's that. Now you know me a little bit better, and I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Also check me out on all of my social media links. You can see them on the screen right now. Feel free to contact me anytime you want, and I'll see you next time.